Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!
Welcome, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends to Spoiler Sleepover, Season 3, the Season of Suffering. Suffer along with your co-hosts Jason, Michael, and Rob as they watch and review some of the worst films to ever hit the screen. Now, enjoy the show. It'll be a real scream of a time.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I get to say it this time. Fuck you. Fuck you for this fucking movie. Fuck you. This was shit. Oh my god. Welcome, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, back to the season of motherfucking This is Jason Michaels and the Dice's Fault. Spoiler Sleepover. I'm Rob.
I'm confused.
Hi, confused.
Hi, I'm Jason Michael.
Oh my god. I'm sorry to blame you. It's the Dice's fault. It's not your fault, but it's your fault, but it's the Dice's fault. And fuck this movie. This movie, holy fuck. I've got so much to say. But before we get into that, let's jump into a little bit of what's been keeping you up at night. So, Jason Michael, what's been keeping you up at night?
Well, of course, since my better half has joined me from across the pond, now we are catching up on everything that we were supposed to be catching up on, or at least supposed to be watching over the past couple months. So, The Rookie, last weekend, we went from episode 2 to all the way caught up. So, like, episode 16 or 17. And at the same point, we were also catching up with all the 10-minute power hours from the Game Grumps. Because we love watching those. So all caught up on all of that. And that's honestly been pretty much it. We actually last night just restarted rewatching Clarkson's Farm.
I have no idea what that is.
Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear, he has his own farm.
Oh,
and
interesting.
It's a show. It's the 4th season's coming out, I think May 23rd.
Huh.
I think.
Never heard of it. Well, now that you're all caught up on The Rookie, you now understand my big smile from last week because fuck you all. If you're all behind, that's your fault for listening to a podcast called Spoiler Sleepover. Dude, fucking what? Cop Cutie boyfriend. Are you fucking kidding me? A regular character?
Like
I
I'm
love
turning
him.
into John Nolan.
I love him. Love him, especially in this this week's episode when we find out he also speaks Spanish. Oh my god, shit was awesome. It was so good.
Dude, that was such a fuck you of an episode that just came out. Like, dude, that was a tremendous episode.
Homeboy's scream when he gets shot in the shin.
My god.
I felt that shit. I was like, yo, this dude's a good actor. Like,
it was, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm amped.
I love how unfortunately he lost everything, but he's turning the tide now. Unfortunately, it took this, but god fucking damn it.
Knowing this show though, that's what's got me slightly worried is we had a whole episode about second chances. Yeah. And luckily, the Good Samaritan who was wrongfully released gets released for, saving somebody. It's great, whatever. But Homeboy's not a good person, and he realizes it, and he turns over a new leaf, or is trying to turn over a new leaf, and then he gets his fucking leg amputated.
Yeah.
But knowing the show and knowing that character, I don't think he's going to turn this shit around. I gotta say it. Like, the Rookie has a real good track record for making you go, hey, this is what's going to happen. And then it doesn't. And so that's where I think this is going. I think that he's going to end up falling into something real bad, but we'll see. He's going to sue the department, and he's going to go after the dude, the Good Samaritan.
Again.
He's going to go after him and try and sue that dude, because if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have gotten shot. He wouldn't have lost his leg. He's a little prick. I'm sorry, but like, fuck that kid. Well, that's what he is. He's a kid. So, Jesus.
Goddamn.
And that's our rookie talk. Welcome to Rookie Spoiler. Rookie Sleepover.
Everything Nathan Fillion. We told you before. We'll tell you again.
This is the
Nathan
Fillion.
and David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, it's the Fillion Fill-In. Welcome, ladies and gents, and our non-binary friends, to the Fillion Fill-In. That's our new segment. No, we're not. No more fucking segments.
God.
That's even me saying it. No more segments. There's too many.
Our openers are already too long.
But yeah, well,
yeah, that's pretty much been it. Just the Rookie and 10-minute Power Hour.
Nice.
Fillion. This is a smut podcast about Nathan Fillion. Anyway, Rob, what's been keeping you up at night? Hopefully not that.
No. I mean, I have been watching my programs, as I like to say. Honestly, that's really about it. I'm behind on Fire Country by 3 episodes. I'm behind
Fire Country.
Tracker by 2 episodes. I'm like falling behind on a bunch of shit, but yeah. That's it. I haven't really watched much of anything. I'm halfway through season 2 of 90 Day Fiance. Put it on. I put it on a few nights ago with my fiance, and she fell asleep on the couch like not even halfway into the first episode, and then she woke up hours later, and I was like, I'm still watching the show. She was just like, she didn't bring it up until like the next day. She was like, so
how's the show?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you've created a monster. So that's
it's
really
adorable.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, really,
90 Day Fiance.
The latest episode of Doctor Who destroyed me. I really don't want to get into it, but yeah, last week was a lot of tears for my shows. So I cried a fuck ton. It was not fair. It was a really brutal week of television for me. Yeah. That's really it. That's what's been keeping me up at night. Not much, just the usual. But
you had a week.
Yeah, I've had a week that wasn't TV watching, just a week in general. That's why I haven't watched anything too new or out of. Yeah, let us know what's been keeping you up at night. If you've got any cool shows that aren't going to make me cry, let me know where they are, because I'm sick and tired of being emotional and watching fucking TV shows. And enough of that. Let's talk about those little things that are squiggling in and out of our ear holes. Jason Michael, do you got a good earworm for us this week? Something that you haven't said for the past 2 to 3 months? That face says no.
All right. Well, hang on. We've talked about this specifically last week, saying that I will talk more about Skeletor once I listened to it and gave it more time. Because, first day, yes, you can kind of tell sometimes, but like I had Trivium's The Sin of the Sentence grow on me after listening to it, instead of the first time I like listened to Avenged Sevenfold album and go, fuck yeah. This one was like, So a slow burn, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I listened to Skeletor, and of course I love the singles, and then the first song, Guiding Lights, kicks in. It's a nice, beautiful anthem. I'm not going to go into a full rundown, but like my favorite songs are Guiding Lights, Lacrima, and Marks of the Evil Ones. It's a great album. I think it's better than Impera.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't listened to it yet.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
I like it better than Impera. Definitely came out stronger than the last album. There's a throwaway song in the middle, but I'm kind of coming around to it. And other than that, like I like how he sounds. I know it's the same guy for every single album, but I was texting Seamus about it, and I was messaging Chachi as well. But Seamus and I were talking about from 1 to 2, the guy kind of sounds the same. From 2 to 3, there's kind of a vocal change. Like he kind of feels a bit more new and a bit more in fluctuation. 3 to 4, very little change. Now 4 to 5 feels like a bit more of a raspier, not guttural, but like there's some other like awesome tonal change that we've noticed. So I think it's a different character entirely, and it doesn't feel like the Cardinal has for the past 2 album cycles.
Interesting.
The Cardinal, Papa 3 and the Cardinal are like almost the same people. Ghost lore.
It all sounds the same to me.
I was gonna say Rob was awfully quiet during that entire just brain explosion.
Well, yeah,
happened.
you were working through it, so I wasn't going to interrupt you while you were working through it. No, I mean, I do expect to listen to it. I just no, not yet. I've got to get myself ready to be like, well, this is gonna be the next hour of my life.
Well, I think it's like 43 minutes.
Oh, good. Still,
Yeah.
That's time of my ear listening parts.
Yeah.
That I've got to dedicate that time. So
Fair.
yeah, I mean, I'll give you my fill-in once I actually decide to listen to it. So
Fair.
far, I'm still on Prequel or whatever it is the best album, and I mean that not in like it's the best out of all the shit that it is. Like it's a higher level of shit. No, it's genuinely, I think it's a good album. Like it's if I were to be in the car with you and you were like, I only have Ghost, I have every album, I'd be like, well, put on Prequel because that album fucking rips. Like it's a good album. I like it lyrically. I like it musically. It's a good album. But we'll see. We'll see if the new album holds a candle to that for me. But I'm not holding my breath.
I hope so, because also like the character of Perpetua is like almost Phantom of the Opera vampire kind of deal. He's like it's dark in comparison.
Yeah, I mean the mask is very over the top, like Eyes Wide Shut, but at
Phantom of the Opera,
a
but
gay
at the
club.
Same point, at the same point, it's not like a full head mask now, so he's able to actually emote instead of just being like, "Hello, I am this person in this mask."
Right.
But
I mean, I know
Ghost talk.
somebody else did that too. Corey Taylor did the same thing. So I mean,
I know.
Yeah,
I love that mask. I love that mask. But enough Ghost talk. To actually date this is we're recording this a little bit early because tomorrow, Friday the 2nd, I am going down to Boston to see Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine. Never really listened to Bullet, but Trivium, I haven't seen them since fucking 2015, I think. But I've been listening with them album after album.
I still haven't never seen Trivium. I've always wanted to, but in my personal opinion, you're not missing much with Bullet for My Valentine.
I think I maybe know one song, but at the same point, maybe think it's an entirely different band, like Made of Wax or something.
Pretty much. I mean, that's a majority of those bands that are just an old screamo band I really liked. Scary Kids, Scaring Kids just released a single for the first time in like forever, and there's only 2 original members left in the band because the lead singer died.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
After that, they just were like, and we're done. Oh. And then they released a new song. I listened to not even half of it. I was like, this is terrible. I was like, yeah. Well, and that was the thing, was like, I like Scary Kids, Scaring Kids. Their early stuff is really good. And with like Poison the Well, a band that I fucking love, like absolutely love the band. They just released a new song, their first song in like 10 years. And it's awesome. Like it's a really fucking good song and like really fucking good. I just saw them live and it was unbelievable. It's been 20 years since my brother saw them live. And Yeah, that was his first hardcore show that I took him to. So it was like us reliving everything. It was the anniversary of the first album. And I got to see Glassjaw again, and I cried. So yeah, I told you I had an emotional fucking week. But yeah, it was awesome, man. So, well, I hope you enjoy Trivium again.
Dude, I'm so excited.
And
I have not seen them in a while, and I feel like I'm getting that with my concerts so far this year. Whitechapel hadn't seen since 2015. I just realized, so I'm reliving, and I'm loving it.
That's awesome. Sorry, I was partaking in my
No, you're good.
Seltzer water.
It's just
Nice.
Yeah. So, Rob, what have you been listening to?
Well, I've got something I cannot add to our playlist for this season. I have been listening to, well, I just finished, actually, as of today, I just finished the audiobook of Clown in a Cornfield.
Oh.
Very pleasantly surprised. There are a total of 3 books, so I'm currently listening to the second book. But it is the corniest title for a book that is not corny in any way, shape, or form. I did not see, like, I didn't read the premise of the book. I was just like, my brother kept saying I would like it. And with the movie coming out, again, I didn't watch the trailer, so I have no fucking clue what it's about. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll listen to it. It's free. Spotify has audiobooks now, and they have a bunch that are included with the premium. So I pay for premium. They have a fuck ton of books you can listen to, audiobooks you can listen to. And all 3 of them were on the list. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. I listened to the first book in 1.5 days. I just put it on and fucking listened. I didn't stop. I even went to the bathroom and never took my headphones out. I was pooping and listening to the book. I was like, this is great.
Oh my God.
I got to listen to audiobooks while I'm shitting more often. This made my poop so fucking pleasant. This is great. So yeah, I mean, dude, it's good. I shockingly enough don't want to spoil anything. My suggestion is, if the trailer for the movie interested you and you don't know anything about the book, or the trailer didn't give anything away, I have no idea what the trailer gave away or didn't give away. Just, dude, read it. It's a good read. It's a short read too. I really fucking liked it. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. So far, the second book is doing a damn good job. We got some new characters. We got characters from the first book coming back. The filling in the gaps between the first and the second book really well. I'm really enjoying this. This is good. It's good shit. And the brutality that happens in it is great. But it is not supernatural. It's not anything like that. It's not a ghost. It's not a fucking killer clown. Yeah.
Is it a demon?
No, it's not that either. I will off recording, I will tell you what it is, because I know you won't read the book, but yeah, it's real fucking good. I was shocked. I can't say I was totally shocked. I had an idea, and then that idea happened to be right, but then there was more added on that I was just like, well, I didn't see that fucking coming. Super good.
An animatronic?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, I will tell you off recording. But yeah, so that's what's been squiggling in and out of my ears for just 4 days now. It's just audiobooks. Nope.
My final guess.
Okay.
Is it a dream?
No.
Fuck. All right.
Nope. It's all. Yeah. No. I'll tell you off recording, because I don't want to spoil it for the suckers if they haven't read it and are interested in reading it. Because it's. I think some people would say, "Oh, wow, this is a twist," but it's not really a twist. It's kind of like right there in front of your face the whole time. And I have a feeling the suckers aren't that stupid. So like they'll figure it out.
Maybe we should watch it, and me not knowing anything about it, and then you knowing everything about it, and just see what we get from it.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I mean, when I did the same thing with Dark Harvest, I read the book and then I watched the movie. The book was fucking fantastic. The movie sucked ass. What a piece of shit. Had nothing to do with the fucking book. Dude, it was so off the fucking point. I mean, so I spent the weekend with my brother in Connecticut, and we had an almost full-blown argument. And at the end of it, I was just like, look, if I had gone into the movie without reading the book, I would have enjoyed the movie. My brother had read the book and then watched the movie. He told me to read the book and then watch the movie. He thinks the movie's better than the book. He never thinks the movie's better than the book. He's wrong. Like, dead ass fucking wrong. And we had an argument, and I said, I don't know if you're missing the point of the book or if you didn't like the point that the book was driving home.
Jesus Christ.
And when I broke it down, I saw that realization in his eyes, and he was like, oh shit. And he goes, all right, fair enough. I just don't like the way the author writes. And I said, I fully agree. The author's weird writing. It was what it is. But the movie sucked dick. It was terrible. So I'm interested to see if we're going to get a similar situation with Clown in a Cornfield. But yeah, at this point, I'm not going to hold my breath. This is what happens when you start fucking reading and then books that you read get turned into movies.
Nerd!
Yep, that's me. Well, that's what's been squiggling in and out of our ear holes this week. Let us know what you've been listening to. Has anybody else been listening to audiobooks? Let us know what you've been listening to, because we want to know. And now for our second to last segment for our openers. Yeah, second to last. That's right. We've got a little... All right.
Before you take it away with this, just a quick rehash of tomorrow or Friday. If you haven't seen it yet, 2 days ago, Screamboat released on digital. So if you have not seen Screamboat, go see Screamboat.
Yes.
Howard Thornton. We brought it back. The Nathan Fillion and David Howard Thornton podcast.
That's it. And apparently
all right, that's
Ghost. Well, the Creeping It Real for this week is going to be a bit of an interestingly strange one, but not really. I'm potentially going to get two groans from you. One groan from me and one like, okay, I'm interested. So it's been announced that Matthew Lillard, yay, everyone loves Matthew Lillard.
Zoinks.
Yeah, like Stu is coming back for Scream. They are somehow bringing him, his character, who was apparently killed, is coming back to the Scream franchise as Stu. He's coming back.
This has been in talks since I think at least 4.
Correct. And it was announced by him.
Now, is he going to be like, I don't even fucking know the actual boyfriend's name, Skeet Ulrich's, whatever. Is he going to be like a ghost or is he going to be alive?
See, that's what I'm wondering too. I don't know. That all he said is he's coming back. Now, let's not focus on it too much because at the end of the day, the Scream movies suck dick. But I want to move forward because Matthew Lillard has also announced that he is coming back to reprise his character in the next Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Nice!
Yes. So if you saw the movie and you stayed through the credits, you know there's potential that he was still alive because his eyes light up in the fucking robotic suit at the end. So, yeah, this will be pretty exciting to see Matthew reprising 2 roles in 2 different horror properties. I don't know what we're going to get out of Scream. You know we're going to suffer through these fucking movies just so we can continue to shit on them.
We're going to watch it regardless.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Scream, Spoiler Sleepover wouldn't exist. So as much as we hate those movies, we have to fucking thank them and keep making sure that we're watching those movies.
Just let that sink in for a second.
Yeah. A shitty movie is why this podcast exists. Boy, howdy.
It was almost Evil Dead Rise 2. Son of a bitch. Son of a fucking bitch.
Still gave us an episode.
It's true. Gave us our first one because we didn't want to start off with a real shit.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, we ended up getting really cool 2-parter with the Scream one. And we had our first guest on our second fucking episode. We had the amazing, Chris O'Brockie. We miss him. We got to get him back on. And now for everybody's new favorite segment, Selena's Thoughts. And we've got a real special one this week. Yeah, a real special one. So,
oh boy.
Let's all just shut the fuck up for a second and listen to Selena tell us her thoughts. That's right, on Girls with Balls. Selena, take it away.
Girls with Balls was a mess of a movie. I don't think they really knew what kind of movie they wanted to make, because it gives off Wrong Turn vibes, Shaun of the Dead vibes, even some Mean Girl vibes, but it's not good. It's just a big hot mess of horrible, and I have never wished that they would just kill them all so this movie would stop than with this movie. And I literally wanted to stop it so many times, but I refused to tap out. I'm like, I'm gonna finish this movie, and I pushed through, and I regret every minute of it because it is bad. The only good thing in that whole movie, and it's not even that good, was the singing cowboy. And he's not even that good, but he was the best part of that mess.
And I have to disagree. I think the cowboy was the worst part of it. It was the headless guy wandering around.
Holy shit, that was so cool.
And that was Selena telling us her thoughts this week on Girls with Balls for Selena's Thoughts. How awesome was that, though?
Holy shit. I didn't even know that was going to happen. That was so cool.
I kept a surprise.
Oh,
I was like, I hope I can keep this surprise until we record this shit.
My face hurts. I was smiling through that whole fucking thing. Ow. Smiling hurts. Ow.
I told you we would get her on one way or another at some point.
Woo.
And I feel like that was a good, soft intro. So now
that was tremendous.
Now that the suckers can hear her voice and she can hear herself on the podcast, hopefully we can get her on for a whole ass episode. But
yeah, dude.
It'd be even cooler if we could just get her to fucking record all of her thoughts, because that would be really cool. But at the same time, I really enjoy reading them because it's really fun. So maybe we'll make sure if they're especially shitty movies, we'll be like, can you record it? Because we want to hear the disdain in your voice. But
I'm definitely excited to hear how maybe disdain, maybe a little bit happy she might sound about this episode.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well,
let's get to it. So now that we're done with that, let me preface this by saying we are talking about the Snarling from 2018.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I got this text from Rob and I did not respond to it. My thoughts and emotions watching the Snarling currently. It's 3 GIFs. One of Tom from Tom and Jerry, the cat, taping his eyelids open. So I'm guessing Rob was bored and sleepy. Then there's Judge Judy slapping her wrist and slapping, that's her watch, and basically being like, let's go time. And then Peter Griffin going, oh my God, who the hell cares?
Literally. That was my thought process the entire movie. I was like, is this is the movie? Here's admission time. Hold on real quick. That's a Celsius, folks. I do not drink. If that has not been made abundantly clear, I do not drink.
It is a Celsius. I can see it right behind the super cool spoiler sleepover sticker.
Sure is. I got stickers on everything.
Hell yeah.
This is the first time in spoiler sleepover history that I grabbed my phone and played a game while the movie was on, because I was just like, I have to get through this somehow, because it was that or I shut it off and said, good luck, you're carrying the episode, because fuck this movie. Holy fucking shit, did this movie suck ass. I'm amped up. This one was bad, dude. Real bad. Sorry, Selena. We're real sorry. I'm so sorry.
You good?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to continue this anyway by saying, welcome, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, to the Split. This is where we find our movie where one of us really fucking hates it and one of us enjoyed the motherfucking shit out of it. Oh, I'm so excited because the moment you sent those gifts, I was like, dude, I'm not responding. I enjoyed this movie so goddamn much.
How? That makes no sense.
Let me preface
this
it
movie
like this.
Was horrible.
let me preface it like this, and it might make sense. Again, for those of you that have been listening throughout, first off, thank you very much. And I do mean not only the Season of Suffering, but as well as our top threes, as well as all of the Winter Horror Lands, all the way from the very get-go. Thank you very much for listening. Let me hearken back to our very first Winter Horror Land, and let me make a real quick connection. I love this movie like I love Jack Frost. It's so bad to me, it's fucking good. I laughed at so many times during this movie. Also, I kind of have to. It's British. It's British. It's real shit movie, real shit acting, practically no budget. But at the same point, I laughed at so many points in this movie. At the stupid line delivery, at the bullshit jokes, at the build-up that led to abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Also, this straight-up just shout-out to American Werewolf in London at the beginning of the movie with the two backpackers.
Yeah. They got lost in an open field.
Oh, we're in the moors. Are you, though? Are you not just in somebody's back garden?
Yeah.
Are you, though?
So, let's get into this. The synopsis for The Snarling from 2016 is: a sleepy English village is invaded by a cast and crew of a new zombie horror film, but the horror turns real when someone or something starts tearing villagers, cast, and crew to shreds. That we never see, by the way. They're dead. Are they? We never see. We see a severed hand. One hand.
We also see a decapitated head.
Barely. It's got a fucking helmet on. It doesn't count.
It's fucking funny, dude. That's hilarious. That shit was fun. You knew it was coming, but it was still funny when they're. Oh, nope, you're not okay. All right, let's put that back down. Dude, I will agree on a few things, and when we get to my rating, I will double down on this. The fact that we didn't get a proper werewolf, especially when we get to it at the end and it just looks like, "Hi guys!" The werewolf ran into a wall and his face got squished.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like.
This one was written by Pablo Raybould, who's also apparently in the movie. I have no idea who he was, but he's in the movie as well. But
looking it up as we speak.
Yeah, there was a lot of the people that worked on the movie were in the movie as well, just to show low budget, which I appreciate.
Yeah. But
I didn't appreciate this movie. It was it was bland. It was so just
You're going to love it. You're also going to hate it. He was the inspector.
No, that makes sense.
The guy always fucking eating.
Eating. Yeah, constantly eating.
I will say, instead of spending a lot of time trying to focus on what they were actually saying or doing, I was trying to spend a lot of time going, what's he got? What kind of English snacks does he have right now? Is he fucking Jamie Dodgers? No? Oh, bitch. It looked like he had some chocolate digestives, though, so all for it.
He was definitely eating like a family-sized package of fucking biscuits at one point. I was just like, that's an insane amount of biscuits.
All right, we have to start this movie, but we'll get to it.
So, before you start going into the movie, I sighed the second I hit play and the first production company popped up. I had said this last season when we announced Season of Suffering that jokingly I said, I'm just going to only find wide-eye release films because they're always the worst ones. And this was a wide-eye release. I saw the logo and I was just like, God fucking damn it. I was like, officially, Jason Michael has found the worst movie for this season. Oh my God.
Can't wait.
I immediately almost checked out at that moment. I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And that was my first note. I literally just wrote wide eye releasing red flag. That was before the movie even fucking started. And man, was I right.
So shit. It starts. I will also say this and throw this out there for everybody. Hearing the synopsis and anything about the movies, the only thing I see is the back screen or like the teaser image before you hit play on your streaming service. That's all I ever see before we watch these movies. I don't look up the synopsis. I don't look up anything else. So upon finishing this movie and seeing a really good-looking werewolf that was not in the movie and a bunch of zombies confused the shit out of me. But when it pops up and it's just a zombie kind of going, I was like, zombie? What?
Yeah.
That was a werewolf movie. Turns out they're filming a zombie movie with a guy named Greg Lupine, who is a diva actor. And he goes, the zombie should fucking roar. And I sat there and went, have you never seen a goddamn zombie movie?
I put that in my notes too.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
The zombies roar.
Yeah. And the actress gets back up and goes, bleh! And he actually, like, in the movie, butts her in the face with the gun and, like, knocks out a few of her teeth. And they talk about it later, like, she only spat out 2 fucking teeth. Yeah, because they were her teeth, you ass. Nobody has the balls to stand up to Greg, and it's so annoying. But at the same point, it makes what happens later a little bit more yes. But hearing this is a very quick British wit movie in ways, but especially when they're just like, we'll take the roar out in post, don't worry about it. So just roar, we'll take it out in the edit. And Greg is very much so, full of himself, talking himself up, and then when we get the title card, the director's sitting there and he's like, oh, people are going to love me. People are going to think I'm some sort of, and the director goes, cut. But he says it in a way where it sounds like cunt. And I was like, yay. It's the only one we're going to get.
I thought he said cunt. I was just like,
no,
all right.
Maybe he did. If we go back and put subtitles on.
Yeah.
Rob, you have to go back and put subtitles
Fuck that. You couldn't pay me. Oh. The fact
what
that
if I give you a friendly high five?
There was a hesitation. So I looked it up on my TV, on my Roku, and I was like, all right, the Snarling. And it said on Prime and Tubi. And I was like, I'm not fucking up my Prime. Like, I don't want my algorithm fucked on this one. So I went to Tubi.
Dude, my algorithm's already fucked. Some of the shit I'm being recommended after this season is fucked.
Oh, man. I'm so glad I did it on Tubi. Shit? The Butchers?
Huh. I don't know. That's what's showing up, and it looks real sort of B-roll.
Nice. I'm here for it. Well,
maybe we add it.
You know what this movie has? I feel like this is another red flag that we have to keep an eye on for this season. A lot of long shots of foliage and landscapes. We got more of that in this one. And the second that happened, I was like, why'd I release? And this, I was like, this is going to be fucking terrible. I was like, the opening was terrible. I love British humor. I'm a huge Monty Python fan. I love the IT Crowd. Like, Little Britain is like one of my all-time favorite go back tos. I watch that all the time.
Afterlife, Come Fly With Me, The In-Betweeners.
All of it. Derek, dude.
Not your fucking friend.
Derek is it's an emotional comedy, but still a fucking comedy. The Brits know how to do fucking comedy, except for this movie. I don't know what the fuck they did. This was horrible. It's like they hired a 12-year-old and then a drunk college kid, and they were like, "Help us write a script, and then we're going to make it British somehow." Oh, let's make sure that fucking 75% of the movie's in a pub, and I was even trying to find saving graces in that, with like one of the beers being called like Wolf Howl or some shit like that. And I was just like, dude, there's nothing here.
See if I had drank any of them before.
Yeah, nope. It just,
damn.
I don't know. There was a poster in the background at the pub, and I had to like look up the name. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it's an old Western film. I was just like, oh, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, not the poster I thought you were talking about. But after the whole director cut and everything, it honestly, again, is in one way, shape, or form either a ripoff, as Rob would probably put it, or an homage, as I would probably put it, because I enjoyed the movie, to American Werewolf in London. Because it's two backpackers. There it is. Terrible. It's two backpackers walking through the moors. Yes, the moors.
No.
Not somebody's back garden. It was totally shot on scene. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to help you here, the Snarling.
The shit was a wide open field. I just love the fact that it was like you could clearly at one shot see the road. There was a road, and they were like we're lost. I'm like, dude, turn around. You'll be able to flag someone down in like 10 minutes. Yeah, you'll be fine. You fucking idiots. Like, Jesus.
Oh my God.
I mean,
So
writing and directing and fucking whoever. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this movie sucked ass balls.
nah, it's great. Ass balls and all. The backpackers are wandering and they can't see shit. And I'm pretty sure it was one of those stereotypical things of, well, do you have any service? No? Okay, cool. Well, let's set up the tent here and, camp out for the night. We'll start again in the morning. Cool. We start hearing a wolf growl, which, okay, it's getting going, starting to be promising. And they're like, what's that? And they go, who's out there? It's like,
don't do that.
Growl. Is something going to fucking respond to you? Sorry, guys, I'll leave now. No. But they're looking around and they find what looks like human parts. And at first it was like, why are you not more surprised at this? The guy was way too calm about going up to it and going, nah, it's plastic. It's not real. I was like, it's a bold choice. But then he goes, but that is. And then immediately we get the off-screen / dark-screened werewolf attack. And the backpackers are at that point bound to be dead.
Yeah, and that's also the moment, too, that in my notes, I just wrote audio mixing and added sounds are awful. Because, they also heard something before the growl, and you could barely hear it, and they reacted to it. And then the growl was barely even existent in the audio itself. The mixing was fucking god-awful. There was a moment where one of the dudes readjusted in his seat while speaking, and his voice got louder. Like, he literally got too close to the boom mic, and they didn't edit the audio at all. It was just like, he was like, yeah, so something, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ. Good Lord.
Are you awake still? Goddamn.
Yeah, it was, Jesus. I mean, I also want to touch on something before we get any farther into this. There is one moment, I already hated this movie. I was like, this sucks ass. There is one single moment in this movie that fucking pissed me the fuck off. There is some extreme, no holds barred fucking homophobia in this movie.
Yeah.
And
there is.
That was the moment where I grabbed my phone. I was just like, yeah, I'm playing games right now because otherwise I'm leaving. I'm shutting this movie off. I'm fucking off. So just a pre-warning.
2018, that was still surprising.
Dude, and that was what really put me over the edge. If it was not that there's any excuse for it, but if this came out in the fucking 90s or even 2001, I'd have been like, all right, well, it is what it is. But this was a handful of years ago. So to anyone out there who's thinking, I want to suffer with you, and that's the sort of shit that sends you over the edge, just a heads up. It is extreme homophobia against trans people. And in the country we're fucking currently living in, this was just not something I wanted to deal with. So I played games on my phone. I took a few notes. This is the least amount of notes I've ever taken. One single page, and it's just bullet points of complaints. That's all it is. So, yeah. And that's one of my big notes. Yeah. Yeah. I just wrote homophobia. Big fuck you to the writer. So fuck you, Pablo Raybound, you fucking piece of shit. I'm not going to body shame you just because you're a homophobe. You know what I'm thinking, you fucking piece of shit.
Because he's devouring all the snacks.
Yeah.
But we cut to the pub, or what was it? The fucking naughty lamb or dirty lamb, whatever the fuck.
It's a pig. And I even remember that it's a pig.
Dirty hog?
Dirty hog.
And then it was the severed arms or some shit because, first off, horrible CG of rain outside.
Horrible everything. But yeah.
We go in. There's a couple extras in the back, and by a couple, I mean one. And then there's the pub owner, Bob, and then there's Les, who is...
You fucking remembered all the names? You really did love this movie.
Yeah, again, surprising to every other fucking movie that we've watched. At the same point, I cannot wait until we get to the end of this debrief, because holy fucking shit. Suckers, we're going to need you. We're going to need you really, really bad for this.
They're all going to side with me.
We go into the pub. We'll see. And if so, you're wrong. We'll see. But in the pub, there's Bob, there's Les. Les is the village idiot, and he's coincidentally looks, quote unquote, like the bitch of an actor, Greg Lupine, which turns out they're the same person. They're the exact same person. It's the same person playing two roles, which I thought was kind of cool. There's a moment later where I really kind of had to look for it, but once I saw it, I was like, yeah, there it is. We'll tackle that when we get there. Les is hanging out and he's talking to Bob, and Bob just goes, yeah, it's a real big secret, but that movie that's being filmed with all the people that got attacked at a zoo or whatever and bit by a bunch of wild dogs, really sneaking that in there subtly. Yeah, they're using the pub as a set for the movie, you know. And I'm gonna tell them, well, you're gonna have to pay me more because it's the busiest. And they're like, busy? And he's like, yeah, it's gonna just be a bunch of extra money. And he's like, this place busy? And they turn around, they pan around the pub. You see one guy, and the pub looks like it's somebody's like kitchen / living room. And then it keeps panning, and there's one picture frame in the background that just falls. I laughed at that part because it was really funny to me. It let out a pretty hearty chuckle, and then it lingered on it, and then it cut back to the scene. And we meet, I believe his name was Mike. See? All right, there's one. The other of their trio that shows up, and they're basically just ragging on Les, even though it's very much so like quick wit delivery of just, hey, we're going to film the movie here. They're going to be here. It's like, all right, where are they going to be? It's like, what the fuck you mean? Here. Just staring at him, unbelievably confused at what he's doing and what he's saying and how he can't comprehend a normal conversation.
Anything.
We get a cut. Yeah.
In the whole movie.
He's an idiot, but he's a lovable idiot. We cut to the outside where it's the rain again, but something walking up, and we're like, ooh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And it keeps cutting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then when it gets up to the door, Bob looks over and goes, Jesus Christ, is it raining out there? And it's just one of the normal patrons just taking off his raincoat. Yeah, it's pissing it down. It's like, cool. I didn't need anything spooky. I just needed some bullshit. That's all I wanted.
You hear a little I'm saying right now?
Turns out 2 more people came in. So there's a lot of different cuts in this movie, as we've already stated. A bunch of them are just back and forths, and a lot of which are just weird and don't make any sense. Like this cut of a full moon, and then Greg, who always on the set just starts yelling at all the assistants and whatever, and goes back to his trailer to whinge and complain. We see the full moon. We hear a bunch of screaming, and we're like, oh, shit, maybe the werewolf is attacking Greg and we just don't get to see it, or the happiness of watching this asshole get completely wolfed on. And then we get a cut to the investigator, or the director of this movie, and one of his very stupid officer, Bobby, deputies, whatever, and they're just having a whole back and forth of, all right, cool. Is there anything else out here? And they're like, oh, yeah, we got his phone. And he's like, cool, bag it, tag it, and bring it to the lab. And the cop's like, we have a lab? And he's like, shut the hook up. It just, the continuing bits of, we have a lab throughout the movie, I thoroughly enjoyed. I liked this movie a lot. I get it. I understand it. Blah, 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 blah. We're always going to differ. Again, that's why I like our podcast. Now,
worst movie ever.
We cut back to the pub. Of course, a bunch of random bullshit cuts. The mustache man, or Nobby, he leaves. The one patron they had in the bar at the time, and we get the cut to him walking out and about, and a boot, wrong country. And then
would have been better if it was devoured. Canadian. Probably would have been funny.
Would it have?
Yes.
All right, let's go get a bunch of Canadians and make the Snarling, eh?
Imagine you just get the entire cast of Letterkenny to do this movie. It would have been 1,000 times better.
What are you, a fucking werewolf? Fuck off, kid.
Literally. Yeah, it would have been great.
Werewolf. Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Letterkenny, if you didn't pick up on that. I've only seen, again, like YouTube Shorts and scrolling, and it just pops up. Rob is looking at me with disdain, and now he's shaking his head.
Yep.
We've had this conversation.
Letterkenny's amazing. Not on the air.
Yeah, probably. I was like, not on the air. Are we a radio show now? Anyway.
Yeah.
Turns out, coming to you live
to 109.5, The Queef.
Oh, spoiler. Oh my.
All air, no solid. What? I'm sorry.
I could cut that out.
I hate myself sometimes. No, at least I made myself laugh, which this movie did not help me do at all.
There it is.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm just gonna, as quickly as we can, breeze through this because I know that Rob has so many notes, and at the same point, I can't wait to get to the ratings for this and everything.
Well, it's also the whole movie's 1,000% to the pub, to the movie set, to the police department, back to the pub, back to the movie set, back to the woods, back to the fucking police department, back to the fucking pub, back to the police department, back to the fucking movie set. It's the whole goddamn movie.
Yeah. So is every other movie in
fucking
a way.
Tinfoil's wrapped in sausage.
They go to their locations.
Yeah, but nothing fucking happens. The entire movie. It's a bunch of dumb people being dumb, and then the dumbest looking werewolf that you barely even fucking see. Spoiler alert, if you're looking at the fucking teaser photo that we've put out, our little bumper, there was no way I could capture a picture, because 9 times out of 10, I take the pictures and then I alter them. This time I literally had to fucking Google search to find what the werewolf even looked like, because I could have also not even find a moment that was photo worthy for the fucking photo. This movie does nothing. What am I going to do? Take a picture of a bunch of people standing around a fucking pub? Take a picture of a dude holding a tinfoil wrapped sausage? That was an option. I was just like, I mean, all right, I guess, but no. I had to show how
could also be, yes,
derpy the werewolf looked, and boy howdy does that thing look. And that's not a fucking fake picture, folks. Like, that's what the thing looks like. They filmed that. They said, we made a mask. Good enough. What?
So the cops, after their whole, back and forth, they say it's a grizzly attack. They think it's a grizzly attack, because they don't want to think it's a serial killer or whatever. Of course, there's multiple interruptions and connections. He's swinging a pen back and forth. They're like trying to talk about it, and the pen goes flying. It's kind of funny. And Greg is Les. This is where I found out, oh my God, they're the same person, because at first I was like, oh, fuck this Greg guy. And then Les was like, all right, you're an idiot. Anyway. But they have a few people at the pub, whether this is the same night as the first night or another night, could honestly be either one. And there's 2 people that are producers or casting agents, directors, whatever for the movie. And they're trying to upsell them on white wine because it's a pub. Everybody drinks beer, not wine. And eventually they're like, you know what, why don't you guys, come down to the lot tomorrow morning and we'll put you as extras in the movie. They cut to the next morning. Les is already there, and he is mowing down on almost a proper full English, almost. And Mike shows up and he's like, oh, Jesus, why you get all the food? There's like nothing else there. There's a box of corn flakes that has like 4 or 5 flakes in it. The joke of Bob being hungry this entire movie just continues. And the producers and, assistant directors, assistant producers keep coming up and checking in on Les because, again, it's the same person who plays Greg, the diva bitch actor who is insufferable. And they keep checking up on him, make sure he's okay. And they're like, oh yeah, we got you all the food. Unfortunately, there's not much left at the extras. And Bob is like, yeah, because there's no fucking food left. So they're like, cool, we're going to have you guys come out in a little bit, be extras, blah, blah, blah. Les then takes 2 of the sausages because he saved them, just in case. He's like, yeah, but they're not that great though. They're almost like bullets. And he wraps them in tin foil. And he's like, but Bob, I can heat one up for you. And he's like, okay. and he unzips his pants and starts pulling out this foil sausage. And he's like, Les, I sure hope that's a sausage in there and not what I think it is. And he goes, yep, pulls out the sausage. It makes no sense. But again, practically the village idiot here. He puts it on one of the movie lights, giant.
In one of the movie lights. He puts it inside the movie light. Not on, inside. He puts a conductor inside something that's electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie.
Oi, oi, oi. I got the reference you went for, but I went for something that didn't make sense after it. Anyway,
like this
Les
movie.
puts it. Yeah, but that's part of the fun.
No.
Les puts the sausage inside of the light, and it immediately starts smoking. But he goes, yeah, Mike, I got one for you. And he goes to put it in another light. And at this point, we find out that the police are just completely useless again. But there's a cut to two bikers, one of which is hanging out with his wife and daughter, about to be like, hey, I'm going on a bike ride. And she's like, take this with you, a little speak and spell. One of the things, you pull the thing and it goes, the cow goes. It's one of those toys.
To clarify, cyclists. So you know they are on bicycles, not motorcycles.
Yeah.
Bikers are motorcycle riders. Cyclists are people who ride
What
bikes.
did I say?
Bikers.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So just to be clear.
My bad. I thought I was talking about cyclists, but I guess I said bikers. Yeah, cyclists. The little pedal, the one that actually, honestly, I don't know which one is worse. See in the road.
You're in New Hampshire. I would just shut up now. Don't talk about bikers.
There's a South Park episode.
It is a great South Park. I love that episode.
Either way, they take off, and he's got, for some reason, his daughter wanted him to take the speak and spell or see and spell, whatever, barnyard animal. So when the cops are trying to pull up to another location, which is where I believe Nobby was, they're like, oh, get these people out of the way. Again, if you're not a fan of extreme homophobia, this is where one of those things happens. As the cops show up to the cyclists, just for the sake of saying it, I guess I will agree that was not a good part. Again, 2018, it kind of shocked me that I was like, oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Really? But moving on past that, they stop, and as soon as the main inspector pulls up and rolls down the window and he's waving like a fucking ham sandwich out the window, the speak and spell goes, this little piggy had roast beef. It's singing and the inspector hears it and pulls the sandwich back and is like, oh, fuck. All right, well. And he basically tells him, get off the road, go into the woods, cut through that way. So they do.
Dumb.
And eventually, I think it was one of them got a flat or something. It honestly made no sense. But they go into the woods. You're just going to find a little...
Every dig I can make, I'm going to take it. This movie sucked.
The police radio starts calling out that it's a lycanthrope. And it's like, oh, really? And at first I thought it was going to be like yes, I know what a lycanthrope is. What's a lycanthrope? But they actually knew. So they're like, it's not a fucking werewolf. There's no fucking way it's a werewolf. Of course, we then cut back to Greg, who has gotten out of his trailer and is being a prissy bitch and starts yelling because the only reason they tried to get Les there was so they could do some middle shots that Greg was being a bitch about and being, oh, I need to go back to my trailer and put cucumbers on my eyes. And he is livid. He's like, why would you ever fucking get these commoners to be me, Greg Lupine, in a movie? And this was the moment it was like, oh, cool. They have the same actor in the same shot. It's well done until you can see it. And then it's like, oh, okay. Greg walks behind Les, who is kind of just giving the, oh, well, something's happening here kind of face, not entirely looking in any direction. But when Greg walks behind him, you can kind of see like a shadow outline where they comped him in or rotoscoped him in. It's I kind of had to look for it. So I kind of thought that was a good little.
Yeah, it was done. It was done well. And that's all I'll give the movie. It's not feeding into my score. I'm solid on my score.
That's fine.
But
that is fine.
Yeah, I was impressed with how shit this movie was and how shit everything about this movie was. I was like, wow, they actually managed to do that pretty decently.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't save the movie, but good job. A- for effort.
And then I just wanted somebody to tell Greg to shut the fuck up, or at least somebody to have a go at him. Nobody ever did. But then he goes over to a light because it's smoking, and he's like, oh, I can't even do lights right, blah, blah, blah. That's when he starts getting electrocuted because of the tinfoil wrapped sausage that is hanging out in the conductor. And it shocks him, shuts down the power to the entire village, and hospitals are barely making it by, schools closed, a bunch of other problems that we find out via Mike back at the pub, which they go back to, and they have power for some reason.
Yeah, they have power. Didn't make any fucking sense.
No.
90% of this movie.
And there it is. Now, the cops made it to Nobby, and they're like, oh shit, wait, there's DNA connecting this part and this part. Oh my God. And they get a call saying it's Greg Lupine's DNA because there was a hat or some shit. Earlier in the movie, they also watched footage from the movie cast going to a zoo and being attacked by a bunch of wild dogs, which turns out, I guess, there was a werewolf in there. And again, I don't want to call him a deputy, but the second cop that is pretty much there the entire time is like, oh, the gore and the viscera and all the horrible things. Meanwhile, the inspector's still mowing down on whatever treats he has. And this is the moment where he just goes, oh, and puts the snacks down. I was like, good, you fucking idiot. Next scene, picks him right back up and mows down on the rest of them. It's like, cool, all right, you are horrible. Whatever. This is where we cut back to the cyclists, and he puts on the most horrendous flashing light that did not help the scene. It did not make it spooky. It did not make it ominous. It just made it hard to watch.
Yeah. Because
it was just a very quick flashing bright light that occasionally would light up the scene. And the speak and spell starts going, who's afraid of the big bad wolf?
It was also the one moment that my office started flashing made me look away from my phone for a minute while I was playing my game. I was like, what the fuck is happening on the screen right now? I was like, this is driving me fucking crazy. Is this over yet?
It's like a steering wheel in your pants. Driving me nuts.
Arrgh.
There's the joke again. In case you missed it, there it is again.
It never gets old.
Unlike this movie.
You made the dig. You did it for me. What a piece of shit.
Do we have a script? Uh-oh.
Either
way.
We don't. We don't have a script. We genuinely don't.
No, we do not. If anything, the script is my very loose notes, which I've missed fucking more than half of.
Good.
Either way.
We've already talked about this too much at this point. This movie is terrible.
We're getting up on time, man. Wrap it up.
Oh, my God.
So they're back in the pub, and Les and Bob are there. Mike isn't there just yet, but he starts worrying about the power outages, and he's like, I just thought of something. With all the power outages, isn't the logger on electric? And he really hung on to the fact that the logger's on electric, and he's like, but what about the logger? And Mike comes in and he's like, are you kidding me? There's hospitals barely clinging on, schools forced to close, power outages across the whole village, and you're worried about a logger. We find out that a producer calls the pub, and Bob goes, severed arms. Dirty hog, again, because it's going to be in the movie. And he starts talking about the fact that Les is there, and the producers eventually show up at the pub, but he's like, oh God, I wonder if they're worried about, and they found the sausage in the light. They go, you're worried about all that. You're worried about a logger. But again, the schools, everything, tens of thousands of dollars or pounds done in damage. And, being a twat. Electrocuting a filmster? Yeah, that's the one. Not even just electrocuting somebody. No, being a twat. Love it. So the producers show up. Meanwhile, Greg's in the hospital, not responsive. The cops are on their way. And again, there were several points that made me chuckle in this film, and one of them is coming up. The producers show up at the pub, and they basically explain to Les, hey, we have a few shots left in this movie. We just need you for like middle distance, whatever. Just be Greg, quote unquote. And he's like, okie dokie. So they go back to the film shot or film set, and one of the producers is giving a rousing speech of, Greg's in the hospital, the power's out, but we're going to film the rest of this movie. And nobody is like, yay. I honestly was expecting people to go, oh, thank fuck, when they're like, Greg's not returning to the movie. Thank God. No, not even that little joke.
Nope.
But the Les is very worried, and he's like, oh God, maybe, the cops are all here. They're gonna find out about the sausage. Just, all right, whatever we do, we can't talk to the cops. Hey, where's Bob? And Mike goes, yeah, he's over there talking to the cops. He goes, shit, takes off. This at one point is when the power comes back on, and the cops are driving up because they found out that Greg, their prime suspect, I don't remember if I said it or not in this whole jumbled up mess of an explanation, but they believe Greg, yeah, because of the hat and the DNA, they believe Greg is he's the werewolf, because they also found the cyclists where he's like, oh, this one's in pieces, he's all dead, there's no survivor. Oh, no, I found the other one over here, and it's a whole body, and he's like, hey, you okay? You all right? You alive? You awake? And he picks up his head, and it's just a head in a helmet, and he goes, no, you're not, and just puts it right back down. But while they're driving up to the film set to go, yeah, it's Greg, or it might not be, because at some point they were told that Greg went to the hospital at 7 whatever o'clock, and the attack happened at like 8 whatever o'clock. So obviously it couldn't have been Greg. While they're driving up, the power comes back on, and everybody's like, all right, let's finish the rest of this movie. The cops go, oh my God, did you see that? Thinking, oh yeah, the power's back on. And they go, chip shop. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, chip shop. And this is where we get personally, I know you're going to want to bury this movie in, all sorts of subconscious and never talk about it again. Shout out to season 2, the very beginning. If I'm not mistaken, the very first episode. You want the lights and the cherries?
Oh yeah, no, I thought about that cherries? Too. Yeah, because he said
blues and the twos.
He said blues and twos, and I was like, wait, that's not the right thing. Like, that's not. That was the only time I was like, could have saved it a little bit by saying something different. There's no saving this movie. This movie sucks.
But the blues and the twos, or the lights and the cherry, or sirens and the cherries. Is it sirens and the cherries?
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched part 6 since we talked about it, honestly. So much for a favorite movie. Anyway, they stop at a chip shop, and there's several moments where they cut back to the chip shop just waiting for their fish and chips. I'm sitting there going, fuck, I can't wait for October. Either way, we find out it's not Greg. Greg is not the werewolf, because the director, Bruce, is starting to freak out and look at the full moon. He's like, all right, we got to do the scene now. We got to do it, and we got to finish it in like 20 minutes. It's like, it's going to take an hour. The power just came back, and he's like, fuck it, do it now. We're doing it live. And he starts freaking out, and we get a very dollar store vampire teeth moment where he's freaking out, and he goes, "Her," and he's got the fucking teeth. And meanwhile, it's just a bunch of cuts back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then this is where we start to see the not wolf, quick cut wolf.
Yeah, we see nothing. Don't lie. Don't lie to the suckers. There's fucking nothing. It's furry. It's furry, blurry flurs.
It's like literally a second at most of, okay, there's the werewolf. All right, cool. Jump cut to it, something else. I was waiting for some sort of full, it's going to sound weird, full frontal werewolf, but we don't.
Oh my.
Until until it starts like going up to one of the producers that showed up at the pub that Les was kind of making eyes at, like, oh, eyebrows. Meanwhile, Bob and Les and Mike have all ducked out behind them, and they're hiding behind a little door. They kind of Three Stooges poke their heads back in, and then a zombie actor pops up in front of them, and Mike just goes, fuck off! I was like, I knew it wasn't going to be the wolf, but that's funny. And then this is where they get out there, and Les goes to try and save the woman. It does not pay off in any way that it would stereotypically pay off in a movie, until we see the other light starting to smoke, and the werewolf starts walking up, and then the light explodes, and the tinfoil wrapped sausage comes flying out and just stabs the werewolf. And Les goes, I told you they were like bullets. The cops show up. There's dead, naked Bruce hiding behind a light.
You skipped over the dumbest fucking line in this dumbass movie. That thing fires out and hits the werewolf, and some random that's on the floor says, a silver bullet. Bitch, that's tinfoil.
Yeah, it was when Les said, I told you they were like bullets, and that's when the producer looks up and goes, silver bullets. Yeah.
Dumb. Fucking dumb.
Tin. Not silver. Tin. But the cops show up and it's like, good news, everybody. We have found out that Greg Lupine is not the... Oh. And they're looking around and everything's already in tatters. And then at the very end, there's a whole, there's a whole police conference basically saying like, hey, this will never happen again. There was a werewolf, but we killed it. Everything's going to be safe. One of the reporters walks out halfway through. And we cut to, as he's saying, this will never, ever happen again. We cut to another attempt at a American Werewolf in London homage to the bed of Greg Lupine, who then opens his eyes. Everybody saw this coming from a mile away. Opens his eyes with some contacts and some werewolf fangs in his face, which look better than Bruce's. And that, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, Rob just kind of nodded his head in agreement. He likes the movie.
No, I don't.
That is 2018's The Snarling.
And a waste of time. Let me do this for you real quick. My notes are literally a page. I'm going to read all of them just so you can you suckers understand. This was my thought process and also how this went down. Jason Michael just broke down the movie, which is way more than I thought we were going to do because I honestly thought you were going to hate this as much as I did. First note, wide eye releasing, red flag. Zombie movie actor wants zombie to roar. Another creature feature with too many landscape shots.
It's like Lethal Virus all over again.
Hikers get lost in wide open field. I actually put that. That's one of my notes. Audio mixing and ad sounds are awful. Filming at a pub. I put that point in there because they said they were going to be filming at the pub. Campers killed. Yep. Then my note, homophobia. Big fuck you to the writer. Police gets footage of deaths. Main actor, doppelganger of local. Angry actor electrocuted. Makes power in town go out. Bikers killed. Director werewolf. Killed by tinfoil wrapped sausage. That's all my notes. Do you see how there's like an entire, like almost the entire movie of notes not there? Because I was bored. Because this movie fucking sucked. It was a snooze fest. Not a horror movie. It was a comedy, but it wasn't funny. So it fell flat there. It was trying to do a quote unquote homage to Werewolf in London. No, American Werewolf in London didn't work out. It was trying its best to be like, oh, we can be as fun and as witty as any of the fucking Simon Pegg movies. Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do like Hot Fuzz. No, you're not. You're going to suck at life because this movie was fucking terrible. It was trying to be so many things that it was never landing. This movie sucked so much. It was the worst thing I've seen in so long. It's been a long time. And that includes what we've watched so far in this season, that I've watched a movie that was so fucking bad that I hated myself afterwards. But I literally left my office and like had to decompress and figure out a way to scrub my brain of this because it was terrible. Good Lord, was this movie awful. Just awful.
So
I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I have nothing good to say. So
Okay.
whatever the bloody legend of the week is, it's up to you. Because honestly, I genuinely, no joke, I don't care. I just
It's
do
the
not care.
tinfoil sausage, baby.
Yeah. I just
'Cause
don't
it's not
even
the
care.
fucking wolf.
It's just so bad. This was so bad. It was so boring. Genuinely, any of the movies that are currently in the dungeon right now, I would go back and watch all of them in a row. That ever have to watch this again.
That's a bold statement.
I would fucking do it. I wouldn't even give a shit. I'd be like, hey, 11, 11, 11, let's fucking go.
The triple feature, 12, 12, 12, 13, 13.
That's coming soon.
Wait for fucking 14, 14, 14, baby. It's not a thing.
No.
But again, bloody legend, sausage in a tinfoil, shooting at silver bullets. Besides that, now, and yes, it's going to tie in because again, it's just fucking, it was funny to me. Out of 10 silver bullet sausages, what would you give the Snarling from 2018, Rob?
Negative 100. Negative.
Not how the ranking system works.
Oh, sorry.
Son of a bitch.
1 to 10. Negative 10. It's
Still
one,
not how the ranking system works.
Hey,
Son of a bitch.
It's 10. Hey, we also threw away the fucking ranking system at this point. We decided
Shut up.
we
Yes, I know.
0 was okay. Negative 10's okay. This movie fucking sucked. This was
We threw
terrible.
out the ranking system a fucking while ago. When
Fair
you're just
point.
like negative 17. It's like, all right, well, fuck you then.
This was awful. This is the worst movie I think I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen some fucking stinkers.
I have to say, again, I enjoyed this movie like I enjoyed Jack Frost, and you gave that, I think, a 2.
Yep.
I gave it an 8.
Yep.
I'm giving this a 7.
Oof.
Yeah. Now, I did also just capture your reaction to my 7, so I will have that, and I will post that reaction. It was not originally the reaction I was intending. I was expecting a jaw drop and be like, "You're a fucking moron."
Dude,
Nope, just a disgust,
I am
disdain.
so
Oof.
mentally spent from watching this movie. That's hard for me to have any other reaction other than disdain. And
Dude, I would rather
hatred.
go back and watch this than fucking Lethal Virus or Girls with Balls. I would rather watch this than any of those.
I will buy extra screens and I will put every movie that is currently in the dungeon on at the same time with sound and watch them all, and I'll have a better time than I did watching this movie.
Ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, will this happen? Will Rob be so fucking spiteful that he will buy extra screens to put all these movies on in order to watch them out of spite? I believe that he will be as spiteful, but at the same point, tune in soon.
I have enough screens in this house. I don't even think I need to buy any.
Fuck.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count my cell phone as 6. I have 6 screens. I could do this.
Okay.
I could do this.
Well, in that case, let's do the math here because we'll start with Out of the Dungeon because that list is way quicker. Out of the Dungeon and Frolicking in the Fields, we have Best Ben and Itsy Bestie.
Yeah.
In the Dungeon, Never to be Seen Again, or apparently about to be seen again, out of spite. We have Outback, Frankenstein's Island, Lethal Virus, 11-11-11, and Girls with Balls. You won't even need to use your phone. You can watch them all in
Sweet.
glorious HD on big screens.
There we go. I'll have my phone just in case I do tap out and I want to play some game.
And I know exactly how this is going to go. Will the Snarling be locked away in the dungeon, or will it be able to go out and about and hang out with Best Ben and Itsy Bestie?
Guess what, suckers? You're going to have to wait till next week to find out because Selena is going to be our deal breaker on this one.
Ooh.
She has been suffering with us, and she will have final say. Because right now, this shit is suffering for me. I'm more than sure you want this bitch out there.
Oh, hell yeah. Skipping and frolicking in a goddamn field that is the moors with a road right over there.
Nope. So you'll have to wait till next week. Selena will make this one happen.
It's our first tiebreaker.
Yep. And
Oh,
if this happens
I
again,
hate it, but love it.
if this happens again, we will have Selena make the choice again. And if she feels like she's tapped out, we have somebody waiting in the wings. Ryan, Mr. Cyrene, will be jumping in as well because he has decided he's going to start suffering as well. So we have our deal breakers waiting in the wings for situations specifically like this. So, Selena, you're up.
I'm not trying to influence your decisions here, but at the same point, you'd be my favorite person ever. Again, not trying to influence your decision, but at the same point, I think this movie decides to frolic.
No, fuck no. Let's
deserves
put it down.
to frolic.
Just put it
pull it to the back of the head with a silver fucking sausage.
Yeah. Not even with like dignity or anything. I want it blindfolded on its knees with its back to me. I want to put a bullet in the back of its head. I don't even want to give it a second.
Mice and men with this.
No final words.
No,
I want to cut its tongue out so it can't even fucking beg. I want to kill this thing so goddamn bad. This movie fucking blows.
Tell me how you fucking really feel. Jesus Christ.
I just did.
Okay. Just want to make sure. So, Selena and our dear suckers out there, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Well, Rob's sorry.
Yes.
I personally hope you enjoy this. One of the so bad it's so good movies of this season, for me personally, because Itsy Bitsy was a genuine attempt at a horror film.
Yeah.
Bad Ben, I think, was a genuine attempt at a ghost, and yet the acting, again, everything was improv. He rolled the camera, said everything, and that was pretty much it.
And one man practical. Like, that's the thing.
Too.
It's so fucking good because it's one guy doing everything. That's such an ingenious move.
Yeah.
Utilizing his own house and the shit he already has. He didn't go out and like get anything extra. I mean, I don't know if he went out and bought that Bible or the crosses or anything, but like, who knows?
Throws them right in the trash. Oh,
I mean, that's
right.
That's what I would have to do if I shot that movie. I ain't got that shit in my house. But,
Hail Santa.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. So that was it. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not. Either way, this is going to be a real weird segue. And thank you for saying that. The dice's fault, because there's that beautiful orange 20-sided die for Rob's next movie in our season of suffering. So far, again, we have had Outback, Frankenstein's Island, Best Ben, Lethal Virus, 11-11-11, Itsy Bestie, and Girls with Balls, and of course, The Snarling.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Now, what is the next movie that will join our shit fiesta to possibly either join the dungeon or get the fuck out and frolic in the flowers? Rob, roll that dice.
Fucking finally.
Uh-oh.
Yes! I'm so excited. Oh, I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, tune in next week to hear us discuss and spoil 2018's Six-Headed Shark Attack. Woo! Finally a shark movie. Fucking finally. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, finally I get to be excited.
Where can we watch it, Rob?
Currently it is streaming, as far as I know, it is on, where you're going to find most of these, Tubi and Prime. So,
all right. Dude, that makes me happy. We've had a few creature features. I wouldn't really consider anything before Best Ben, or sorry, Itsy Bestie. I'm looking at the bests category here on my list. We've had now 3 creature features. Oh yeah, Girls with Balls was in there. I repressed that.
That's not a creature feature, but
no, I know. That's why I forgot about that one entirely, because that one fucking sucked balls.
Yep. Girls with Balls. Yeah, no, that was terrible. No, I am so excited. We both made a point to put shark movies on our list because there's thousands of them, and there's no way any of them are good. But I at least feel like this will be so bad it's good. Like, this is going to be my sense of humor when it comes down to movies. I feel we're going to have 2 episodes back to back that are going to need tiebreakers. I've got a good feeling. But we'll see.
You were hesitant on Best Ben, so...
Pleasantly surprised, though. That's a pleasant surprise.
I kind of had a feling you were not going to like this movie anyway. Again, when you sent those texts, I was like, ooh.
I didn't know what I was walking into, honestly. I was like, dude, a bad werewolf movie with a bad-looking werewolf could be amusing and could be so bad it's good, but the werewolf's not even in the movie until the last 30 seconds of the movie, and the movie as a whole just sucked ass. It wasn't even a fucking horror movie. It was a shitty attempt at comedy.
There it is.
Anyway, Until
Six-headed
next
shark
week.
attack, baby.
Yeah. Until next week.
Sleep tight, suckers.
I'm so sorry. This fucking sucks. This sucks.
I'm not.
This is
I
fucking
hope you
piece of
enjoy
shit.
it. And if not, well, I'll be watching it myself.
Fucking dumbass movie.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Spoiler Sleepover. But the fun doesn't stop there. Go follow us over on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And of course, check out our sponsor, Gore Cloud, and use code SLEEPOVER for 15% off any Spoiler Sleepover merch. So until next time, sleep tight, suckers!
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers.